fallout from Mexico's drug violence is rising every single day. U.S. weapons are flowing south to fuel that violence.
This so-called Iron River of guns from the United States arms Mexican drug cartels to the teeth.
Mexico's nightmare came to Capitol Hill today. Let's bring in our Homeland Security correspondent, Jean Meserve. It was a lively session.
It certainly was, and this is what they were talking about, this U.S.-Mexico border, the violence there and what the U.S. is doing about it. They continue to be hot topics in Congress.
The death and violence in Juarez, Mexico, brought to life on Capitol Hill when journalist Jorge Luis Aguirre told Congress about a phone call he received shortly after a colleague was gunned down by drug traffickers.
You're next, son of a...
Aguirre and his family are now in hiding in Texas. Senators keyed in on the U.S. contribution to the violence, guns.
What do you think is the volume of weapons being smuggled into Mexico from the United States on a daily basis?
I would not say it's in the thousands, sir. I would say it's probably in the hundreds.
If it's hundreds or thousands, the best efforts that we put in it to date are really not addressing the volume of the problem.
One senator argued the U.S. should focus on stopping the cartels, not the sale of guns.
We have a constitutional right in America to keep and bear arms, and we're not changing our Constitution.
Sessions said eliminating the flow of weapons from the U.S. would not stop the mayhem in Mexico. Cartels would simply get weapons elsewhere.
By saying, well, if we weren't irresponsible, somebody else would be irresponsible, is cold comfort to people living in a country where 6,000 innocent people were killed last year.
An ATF official testified that in the past 6 months, his agency has seen a troubling increase in the number of grenades seized from or used by traffickers. And there's a growing worry they will be used on the U.S. side of the border, Wolf.
Do we know where those grenades are coming from?
Well, they didn't talk about that in the hearing today, but I've heard from law enforcement officials that they think they're actually not coming from the U.S., but from south of Mexico. They're from Latin America, the wars that were fought there in decades past.
All right. What a disturbing story this is. Thanks, Jean Meserve, our Homeland Security correspondent. A new move to punish America.